Tel Aviv. I'm taking a shot for my enemies. I can't waste no more time on my energy. I know they know I got it on lock. Go against me, that's a long shot. Cause I'm counting wins all around the clock. Never doubt me, boy, don't stop. Who do you feel when they make you the monster? I am not scared of none of you imposters. Taking the lead now while they watching. Think you should leave now while the option. Taking the West, yeah, I gotta win. Watch me kick down the door, they won't let me in. I'm running the game now. Foot on the gas, can slow down, no.
Welcome to another edition of the It's Cavalier podcast. It's your boy Mac, and you know what? The Cavaliers have now dropped back-to-back games against this Atlanta Hawks team, and it makes you question at times whether or not Atlanta just has Cleveland's number. Back-to-back L's. Cleveland loses today by the score of 117-101. It just never really felt like it was going to be a W. Uncharacteristically bad shooting performance by the one and only Donovan Mitchell. 5 of 23 from three-point distance. 5 of 23 from the field. 21.7% is what that translates to, including 2 of 10 from the three-point line. Just a bad performance from Donovan Mitchell. It's not something that I generally call out too often, but I did feel like there was a lot of possessions in which Don should have deferred. It was not your night, man. There was no need for the hero ball antics at times. It's something that I try and look past in particular games, particular matchups, because I know there are going to be performances in which Donovan goes cold and tries to get his shot back. It happens. It's what happens with superstars. You want them to continue to try and shoot their way out of slumps at times. But when you realize that, two of your players, two of your teammates are performing quite well, that of Darius Garland and Evan Mobley, you got to just defer at times. Garland, 11 of 19 from the field, 5 of 8 from the three-point line, 29 huge points. Honestly, felt like Darius kept the Cavaliers in the game throughout. And then Evan Mobley, 24 points, 12 rebounds, another double-double for him on 10 of 17 from the field. Those two had it going. They carried very, very heavily. And Donovan probably should have done a little bit more of deferring to each of those two players. They should have kept going to Evan and Darius. But this was a really poor performance team-wide. Cleveland shot absolutely abysmally from the field in this game. 40.9% from the field, including 28.9% from three-point distance. They still got to 101 points somehow. So the streak of games with 100 or more points is not broken, but you know what? The Cavaliers have now dropped back to back against a team that is very, very beatable, in my opinion. But Atlanta, with those wings, that size, they continued to hammer Cleveland on those backdoor cuts. I saw way, way, way too many of those occur throughout. If there is one positive from this game, though, it's that you got Darius Garland playing like an all-star game. Instead, Evan Mobley, frankly, has looked like the best basketball player on the team for these last two. So you got to keep going to them. You got to keep feeding this man. His development is depending on that. And that's part of the reason why everybody was so happy with the hiring of Atkinson and just getting, development and furthering the development of players like an Evan Mobley, like a Darius Garland. But that really was the only positive. That and the return of Karis LeVert, which should be huge come Sunday night or Sunday against the Boston Celtics, one of the bigger matchups of the season, the second against Boston. So hopefully we can split with them in these first two. But dropping back-to-back in the way that we have against Atlanta, it just hurts, man. It hurts. You hate to see it. I felt like this Cavaliers team should have been out for blood today, and they got off to somewhat of a hot start early. But Atlanta, they just kept on firing away from three-point distance. They kept attacking the Cavaliers on the glass. They kept attacking the Cavaliers on those backdoor cuts. It happens just so frequently that I was ready to pull my hair out. Atlanta shot 41.2% from the three-point line today, 14 of 34 to be exact. They pulled down, if I am not mistaken, 58 rebounds to Cleveland's 44. Many of their rebounds came on the offensive glass. And what does that do? That gives you extra possessions, a lot of drive and kicks, a lot of kickouts after said rebounds. It hurts. It hurts time and time again. And you're not going to beat a team too often when you're getting out rebounded that way and you're getting outshot that way. Just not a good performance. There really was not really many positive takeaways, if at all, outside of the return of Karis LeVert and Darius's return to playing like an all-star once more. And Evan Mobley, he's right up there too. That's really about it. The Cavaliers, what did I say? I posted the stats for Atlanta in their last game against Cleveland on Wednesday. And we were all upset, all up in arms about the perimeter defense, about how many wide open triples that team converted on. And it was valid, right? I mean, you looked at a performance from Atlanta on Wednesday where they just absolutely shot ballistically on wide open triples, and they got a lot. In that game on Wednesday, they took 42 total triples, and 23 of them were wide open, and they literally hit 52.2% of them, so well over half. I am going to be very interested to see what the numbers have to say this time around, because I feel like it's going to be much the same. And then there are specific possessions in which the Cavaliers did defend the three-point line, and there was just crazy shot making. The two that come to mind is the right corner triple from Trae Young going out of bounds, and the Dyson Daniels fucking pull-up from around the logo. Those two right there, if they're knocking down shots like that, it's not your day, and you're not going to win. And I felt like I said that on Wednesday. I feel like a broken record, but that was just an abysmal performance now in back-to-back games against a team that the Cavaliers should have very well been able to handle, at least split with them. Because I walked in, feel like, okay, Atlanta, they had our number on Wednesday, and then we split with them today because they should have been out for blood. And then Donovan goes 5 of 23 from the field, and I'm just like, what the fuck? What am I watching? I hate to see Atlanta, Trae Young and company win. I hate to see it. But they deserved it these last two games with the way the Cavaliers have performed on the defensive end and shot. The Cavaliers did not deserve to win either of these games. Kenny Atkinson was the first person to come out and say that after the loss on Wednesday. They also did not deserve to win today. Hate to break it to you. The effort that they have shown now in back-to-back performances, they did not deserve to win either of those games. The shooting performances across the board, sans a few, maybe 1 to 2 players. Nobody looked like they really wanted to go out there. George Niang, 1 of 6 from the field. Sam Merrill, 2 of 7 from the field. Ty Jerome, Ty Jerome showed up in the last frame, but Ty Jerome was held scoreless for much of this game. This man has been a 6th man of the year candidate. Hard to really beat down on him too much because of the way that he has begun the year, and that's the way I feel about the entire team. But it's okay to hand criticism out when I feel that it's warranted. This is just a performance that the Cavaliers are not going to look too fondly on. Jared Allen felt like sat large stretches of this game. He only played 25 minutes tonight. And in those 25 minutes, just 6 points and 5 rebounds after a very good performance on Wednesday against this very same Hawks team. I'm just at a loss for words. There's really not much else to say in regards to this. Just absolutely a stinker, as Richard Hacker says. Not inspired or focused. You're right. They played another stinker. Just bad basketball. You'd have to hope now, after dropping to 17-3, that the Cavaliers, something has clicked, right? That they now have a target on their back. The way that they have started this season, everybody's going to look to give them their best effort. And you got to go out there and execute. You got to knock down shots, because as much as I'm harping on Atlanta and the open looks that they got, it did feel like Cleveland got a lot of open looks tonight, and they failed to convert on them. They've now shot very poorly in back-to-back performances. Tonight, again, just a absolutely horrific night from the field. 40.9% from the field, 28.9% from the three-point line. Nobody it felt like nobody outside of Darius Garland and Karis LeVert, who had a couple of nice triples out there, had the three ball going. Just bad, man. There's just not too many other ways to put it other than bad. And over these last two games, it's not left a good taste in my mouth. Lost 124 to 135 on Wednesday, lost 101 to 117 tonight. They shot 46.3%, including 31.3% on Wednesday. They shot 40.9%, including 28.9% from three today. Got to step it up. You are not beating Boston at all without a better shooting performance, without better perimeter defense. And you need the bodies out there. You need the size. I hope to God that Dean Wade is back out there. You need him, especially for a matchup like that. He would have been helpful today, too, with a lot of the size that Atlanta can throw at you with the DeAndre Hunters and the Dyson Daniels, right? The Onyeka Okongwus of the world, the fucking Bogdan Bogdanoviches. I mean, it just felt like there was a lot of size out there. Zachary Risachet, top draft pick this year. Jalen Johnson. There's a lot of size that this Atlanta Hawks team has. And you know what? At times, I'm envious. I am really, really envious of the size that they have at times from their wing group. This is what we got, though. I still am a huge believer in the roster and talent that we have. We have to be able to knock down our shots to make up for some of these deficiencies that we have, and size is definitely one of them. Definitely hurt to see them lose this game. Trevion McKelton says, I wanted that damn cup, shaking my head, now we're out. Yeah. This officially eliminates Cavaliers from contention. They were already on thin ice after that loss on Wednesday, but today eliminated them. Richard Hacker says maybe the days off hurt more than help this team. I don't think so. I just think that they've got to shoot the ball better, man. At the end of the day, that's 40.9% from the field, another sub 30% from 3-point line. They got good looks. They have to knock them down. I maybe rhythm, I guess. But no, I think they needed the days off after playing such a compacted schedule with all those games. I really don't even have an answer. I'm not going to lie. Double J says 17 to 3 were cooked. Sarcastically, yeah. I'm still feeling pretty good about the season as a whole, but you can't lie, man. These last two games have been just bad. Just bad. A lot of things that I would not have thought I would have seen. Donovan Mitchell shooting as badly as he did tonight. And this is, again, coming off a performance against Atlanta on Wednesday where he likewise did not shoot very well in that one either. I think he was 10 of 24 on Wednesday. These last two games, he's been absolutely horrific from the field. Don't know what's going on there. Dr. Claw 77 says, disgusted with this loss, ready to ship off whatever it takes to not make matchups like this happen. And I hate to say it, but I think I'm right there with you, man. Been a huge supporter of George Niang, been a huge supporter of some of these other players on the roster, whether it be Karis LeVert, Sam Merrill, a lot of the players on the bench, Isaac Okoro. But I can't lie, there are specific matchups where I'm like, man, we may not have the size at specific positions to really, truly get over certain matchups in Atlanta, because as we know in the playoffs and big time matchups, it is about matchups a lot of the time. And sometimes specific matchups can really make or break a series. Cavaliers got to address that eventually. This is one of those games. This is one of those teams in Atlanta where they can exploit some of those mismatches, especially out on the wings. Nate says, also, Karis and Strus aren't even big enough to guard NBA small forwards. I think Karis has actually been very good this year, Nate. And historically, Karis is a pretty good defender. It's just there are certain positional matchups where he's going to be at a decisive disadvantage, but Karis has actually held up very well. And Strus, I think he does his best, but yes, he is undersized. Mona Moreland says, I'm happy we don't have an extra game to play. Yeah, got the game on Sunday against Boston, but after playing these last two the way that we have, I'm not excited right now. I'm going to try and hype myself back up the way that I was in the first Boston matchup. But the way that we played, there's absolutely no chance we beat Boston. Trevian McKelton says, I would like to see more effort and better body language when we're down. Yeah, it felt like we were hearkening back to the JB Bickerstaff era of complaining, of the officiating. And after seeing some of the shots not falling, you did see because some of the shoulders slump and guys just kind of being lackadaisical on the defensive end and getting back after a possession that did not result in a field goal being made. You got to turn that off. You got to have a short memory. And the Cavaliers, it felt like they did not have that tonight. Mona says, and managed to get 100 too. Yeah, again, still have not broken that streak. Now, what is it? 20 games entering the season that we have been able to crack the 100-point barrier. It still feels good to be able to say that, but we got damn close to not being able to even get that. Dr. Claw 77 says, only thing I liked was DG, Evan, Tyson. Jalen Tyson actually had some decent minutes tonight. I thought that he brought some energy out there. The ability to go out there and attack the glass the way that he has whenever he is out there is something that really, really excites me. Just 3 rebounds tonight, but you can clearly see the effort and the hustle is there and making guys work for it on the other end too. So yeah, Jalen Tyson was certainly a positive. Only played a bit of minutes tonight, just a hair under 11 with 10 minutes and 57 seconds played, but he was certainly a positive. Cedric Taylor says, can't stay in front of Trae Young. He completely collapses our defense, which creates wide open shots. Unfortunately, he is one of those players, especially when he drives the basketball, that collapses because he demands attention. Like we see it from Donovan on the opposite end too, where Donovan, I think we even saw it on Wednesday, where Donovan literally drove into the paint and drew 4 Hawks defenders, which left a ton of Cavaliers open, obviously. And I think it was a pass that he made out to George Niang for a wide open triple on the left-hand side. But Trae has that similar effect. He has gravity on his dribble drives, on his rim pressures. Cavaliers got to figure out a way around that. I don't know. I mean, there just is not much else to say. not much else to say about this matchup. I'm not going to harp on it too long. I'll go ahead and make this one short and sweet so I can go ahead and enjoy my weekend. But damn it, I really wanted to go out with a W instead of an L. Floyd Phillips II says guards dominating the ball for too much. No ball movement, playing too slow. I got to admit, this is one of those performances in which I did feel that Donovan Mitchell was guilty of heavy amounts of hero ball. And I'm just like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You see Darius Garland is cooking. You see Evan Mobley has been able to dominate down the low post. Get them the ball. Give them more touches. I cannot wait until those stats come out because I really want to see who had the most touches tonight. It's probably going to say Donovan Mitchell. It's probably going to say Darius Garland and Evan Mobley were below that. But pass the ball when you have to. Pass the ball when you don't have it going. Please do not shot chuck. You don't have to do that. Trust your teammates. Darius Garland has shown you this season that he can take he can take it, right? He's been one of the clutcher players. Clutcher. I don't know what the fuck. He's been able to take the pressure off of Donovan, and he's got to realize that. Donovan has to realize that in specific games. It's your boy says, I think we're missing Dean Wade. We're absolutely missing Dean Wade, but Dean Wade is not going to help the Cavaliers shoot better than 30% from the three-point line. He will add to it, but it's not as if Dean was shooting the ball very well to begin the season either. They gotta figure it out. You're gonna have nights like these. You're gonna have days like these when you're not the rock is just not falling, but you got to find ways around that, and you can't let it affect you so much from a mental aspect that you're just not attentive on the defensive side of the ball, and you allow Atlanta to shoot a gargantuan amount of triples. I think they made 20, if I am not mistaken, on Wednesday. Tonight, they made 14. So they've now made 34 triples over the last 2 games against Cleveland. And they shot better than 40% in each game. That's just bad. Some of it is uncharacteristically good shooting, but at the same time, You got to figure it out defensively because the Cavaliers are already a team that is behind the 8 ball in terms of perimeter defense. They're allowing some of the worst 3-point opposition stats to date right now. I mean, seriously, they entering uh, entering tonight's game, Cleveland was allowing teams to make 8.6 3-pointers per game of the wide open variety, which was 5th most in the NBA. They came in allowing teams to shoot just 12th most in terms. They were getting 19 and a half 3-point attempts wide open. That's just 12th most in the NBA. But the worst part about all of this is that despite them only allowing the 12th most 3-point attempts wide open, they're allowing teams to shoot the highest percentage at 44.2%. That's just a disaster waiting to happen. You have to figure it out. You have to figure it out. I don't know what Kenny Atkinson is going to say to these guys after these back-to-back performances, but you got to figure it out. And I'll leave it at that. Whew. I'm just trying to take a deep breath and decompress. If you'd like to reach out to me, you know how you can. It's Cavalier_pod on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and more. If you want to be added to the It's Cavalier Discord chat, you know what to do. Leave a rating, leave a review, send a screenshot of said review to itscavalier53@gmail.com, and I'll send you an invite. If you're watching over on X, go over to YouTube right now, hit that like button, subscribe if you're not yet subscribed to the podcast, and hit that notification bell so you do not miss out on any Cavs-related content. I'm one of the only podcasts out there that I feel goes live after every single game. You will not find that anywhere else. If you're on YouTube, do much the same. Go Cavs.